Insolvent Northamptonshire Couty Council meets to axe services. An insolvent county council is meeting today to axe services to a core offer amid fears it could run out of cash to look after vulnerable children and adults. Northamptonshire County Council leader Matthew Galby will warn councillors today they must establish what they can realistically afford after effectively going bust. A report says the council needs to find £70 million this year, and the axe will have to go beyond cuts to staff pay and staff numbers to include all services, including those to and in respect of vulnerable children, young people and adults. But experts warned it may be impossible for the ailing authority to meet legal requirements to both run a balanced budget and meet statutory duties to vulnerable children, the elderly and disabled adults. The Tory-run authority ignored warnings of a budget crisis 3 years ago when it had overspent by £43 million by the halfway point of its financial year. Councillors have been slammed for building a lavish new headquarters shortly before their council effectively went bankrupt. In a report ahead of today's crunch meeting, Councillor Galby said, "With so much already taken out of our budget and more still to save, the County Council now needs to articulate, in the form of a core offer, the realistic level of service we are likely to provide, not merely to meet our statutory duties but to meet real local need." Mr. Galby's paper said the offer would safeguard all children and young people while ensuring a robust safeguarding system to protect vulnerable adults. The offer would also provide services like waste collection, carry out sufficient maintenance of public highways and plan for school places. However, Professor Tony Travers, a local government expert at the London School of Economics, said the council's virtually unprecedented position could force it to breach legal duties. He told The Guardian that, in order to make cuts to balance its budget as required by law, it would also breach its statutory duty to provide core services, such as those for vulnerable children or the elderly, and disabled adults. In July, the council issued a second order to confine spending to only the most essential services amid fears that its budget shortfall could reach £70 million this year. It came after government-appointed commissioners were sent in to run the authority earlier this year after it issued a Section 114 notice restricting its own spending in a bid to balance the books. A government report this year found serious failings at the council and said it should be scrapped. Meanwhile, the Chartered Institute of Public Finance and Accountancy has warned that other authorities are facing similar pressures. Its chief executive, Rob Whiteman, said in July, "The National Audit Office's most recent financial sustainability report points out that 10% of upper-tier authorities are similarly vulnerable to financial failure. That could be more than 20 councils at risk along with the essential services for several million citizens."